added first in one of their matches, but if the results of that are to be believed,
and posted a total around the 120 mark, and strikers were
24 off the 10 when he faced off with Fernando. First deliveries down the leg side and helped along by the bat of Amogadapali, and there is the first 4 of the day. As we said, 8 of those last time he was here. Up top, they've tried a few different variations. That's airborne and dropped by the man at third. It's going to wind up being
aerial over the infield, cover drive, 1 bounce 4. Lovely boundary from Adada. That is the second boundary. His first boundary was streaky towards. This time, the third man region is protective again for Adada. This time, more controlled. That was bowled a little wide of off stump. Adada sort of going back and slapping it through the vacant point region. They also have a wideish slip in place. This time, onside, pulled towards mid-on for a quick single. A little bit of a.
It was a misfield there. It's a little more like leg break.
That has been struck fiercely over deep square leg for 6. Adada continuing to pulverize the boundaries. That is his
pressure the same way. That one lifted and wide of the protection at sweeper cover. Little back behind pull.
Appeal for caught behind. That is an athletic take by the keeper. The umpire says yes. Exultation by the bowler. Arepalli walks back for 18.
Set Shahan Jayasuriya, though. It is bad news for any opposing bowler.
That has been lifted and deposited over deep mid-wicket by Jayasuriya. You talked about being set. He's this time steered with an open face through the covers. There are men in the deep on the offside, but that was placed with perfection by Adada. He's finding the boundaries with regular. That is fiercely struck through the deep point region for 4. Adada brings up his first half century, 53 of 39 balls so far.
That is lifted square of the wicket and is going to find its way to the boundary. Singles and a 2. Flattens this one out, popped up by Adada, but there's nobody in that zone in the deep. It's over the top of Zahid Zakil. And Adada.
Jayasuriya. Floated slower. Jayasuriya guides this through the covers. Mid-off can only run, and long-off can only run and wane to his right as he brings up under the boundary. Attack he does. He is reeled in at the fence by a magnificently timed jump by the deep mid-wicket fieldsman. That is a lovely catch to cut short. This time Adada finds a lot of bat on that one. That is a lofted cover drive, sailing for 6. Cleared the boundary by at least 10 yards. Reefer goes down low and smokes a drive wide of the long-off fieldsman for 4. That Fernando to Adada. Adada goes gaga. He takes that one over long on for another 6. He moves into the 80s with that Reefer tries to go for a square drive, finds the edge. It takes it to third man for a 4. Bat. Fernando to Reefer for his last ball. This time, the swing is met with a strong connection that sails over the long-off fieldsman. It clears the boundary by a good 10 yards. Reefer lofts this down the ground beyond the outstretched arms of the bowler. That runs away for a straight boundary. Boundaries of consecutive balls.
In excess of 170.
Lofted towards long on. Long on is in the. Oh, that is a comfortable pouch for long on eventually. Adada.
Reefer awaiting. Full toss and an under edge that sneaks past the glove of Akeem Dodson. Not the first time we've took me along to Morrisville for the championship round. That one's in the air. Looks like the park will hold it. Zahid Zakil drifting under, and he will make the catch, and that'll bring the end to Raymond Reefer's over.
59 balls with the help of a whole number of boundaries and 6s.
When he came in with the off spin, able to profit and take 1 wicket. A stumbling hit wicket after a menacing delivery. Cutting the hands loose is Ishak Zazai on that one, and that is dragged to a vacant area. Still under a run of ball, all told. And looking for that same area, again wide of the man in the circle, long run, and it will not be won by the fielder, and it's the ball, and he's going to stick around and tie up one end.
This time slapped down the ground. Mid-off is in the ring, which means it's a very useful boundary for Dotson. Oh, he's bowled him! Hotak delivers with an early wicket. Ishak trying to force the pace as usual. Unfortunately, on that occasion, finding thin air and
the first innings and then rolled the arm over to bowl some off spin for the rest. First ball from Reefer, and that is dispatched by Akeem Dotson. Down on a leg for the sweep. Valley doing his calisthenics in the circle.
Again, an open face steer by the skipper. This time he's pierced the gap in the infield for a very, very deft boundary. This is creative batting by the skipper, using the angle and the pitch. Attack he does, this time left of the deep mid-wicket fieldsman. It is a comfortable boundary for Dotson as he rumbles on to
his figures from yesterday.
This time slammed along the ground, a tumbling stop by Mid-off in the ring. Actually, not quite. Mid-off could not quite stop that. This time a good-looking front-footed drive through the covers. Long-off runs to the right in vain. That is another boundary for... Fiercely struck through the covers again. Reefer runs to his right again in vain. That is Suri bowling around the wicket, a little diagonal. As the skipper jumps down the ground and deposits him over long on. Thunder
end.
Harpreet jumps down the track and lofts this to the right of Long On. Long On runs to his right in vain. That is a 4 on a single bounce. Harpreet Singh continues to take a shine to the off spin off.
Here with Harpreet Singh on strike.
He gets a bit of a low on that one. Long off runs across and pouches an important catch. Harpreet Singh falls in the pursuit of quick runs. Switched back to left arm over the wicket. A pair of left-handed batters in the middle at the moment. Driven aerially to point, and he's gone. Oh my word, that was a bit of a nothing shot from Zaki, south of 100. This time he opens the shoulders up and launches that one over long on. Banged into the wicket, this time helped along by Dotson to the man at point in the ring. An unfortunate way to end an enterprising innings. That is a big...
massively devastating one for the Lashings. 2 wickets and 4 runs.
Full toss, sliced through third man for 4. Ellie Hutchinson opening his shoulders up on that occasion and placing it in between the two men.
Netravolker to Brown.
Attempted slice finds more edge than middle, and luckily in the gap as well. That is a streaky 4 for Achilles Brown. Again shot, this time Ellie Hutchinson gets a piece of that. That sails over mid-wicket for a much-needed 6. This is an entertaining Caribbean...
Netravolker return in the middle overs, those 2 wickets.
That has been lofted down the ground to the left of the long-on fieldsman. Is that 4 or 6? Waiting for the umpire's signal.
Signal from the fielder was 4.
This time over the offside, over the leaping cover fieldsman. It is a bit of a race between ball and fieldsman. The ball wins much needed boundaries. Effective, despite these 2 boundaries at the death. Hutchinson goes down the ground. Long off watches it sail to his left. Is that 4 or 6? 4, says the umpire. Chirps of no ball from the dugout, but the umpire...
spin.
Ball shorter. Hutchinson goes for a big lift towards mid-wicket. Mid-wicket runs in and completes a tumbling catch. That is...
And you note those 4 wins for the Silicon Valley Strikers. East Bay and San Ramon will get an opportunity to join them on 4 as that one is lifted straight. Lashings in the course of their chase.
Lashings anchored.
Overs identical to what the Silicon Valley Strikers had put up, but it was that spell from Valley Strikers will play host in name, as this is the Strikers' ground.